puzzles today and just kind of show you guys what I do when I start puzzles. It's a good warm up a lot of the times to before you start playing a bunch of games. Now I'm not logged in, so this is just like it's going to start me as easy and then go a little bit harder. I think I'll probably do like 4 or 5 puzzles per video. Okay, so here we're playing as white, and black just did a move. They took a piece. So first thing I do is assess where all my pieces are. Since I didn't play this game from the beginning, I'm not really entirely sure what the plan was. So that's a little bit difficult. Um, so first thing I check is can I check their king right away? And it doesn't look like I can. My pieces are not really aiming at the king. So I think this is not going to be a checkmate puzzle at all. This might be like maybe I win a piece, maybe I get a better position. So they took my knight. Did I take something before that? I did. So maybe it's a knight trade. Okay. So then I look for tactics. First thing I check is what is not being defended. So this rook is not being defended by anything else. The queen is not being defended. And this rook is very lightly being defended by the queen. Okay. So, can I get at this rook? I don't see how right now. Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, I can't get at this rook right now. Can I get at this queen right now? The only way I see I can get at the queen is if I move my knight here or here, right? Because then this directly attacks the queen. So moving it here, and so I noticed that if I move my knight here, then I have 2 attacks. So I think this is where the puzzle's going, where I'm going to be able to pick up this rook and exchange it for a knight, which is a great exchange. Knights and bishops are theoretically worth around 3 points. Rooks are worth 5 points. So if I can trade a 3-point piece for a 5-point piece, that is very advantageous. So I think this is where the puzzle's taking me now. You might say he's just gonna eat with the pawn, and then your plan is spoiled. It's not spoiled because my queen will then be eating this queen, which we established is not being defended. Remember, we identified 2 pieces are not being defended. So let's go down these trains of thought, right? Can I do something with these pieces that are not being defended? And it looks like in this puzzle I can. So taking here with the pawn is not an option because the queen would be hanging. So I think what's going to end up resulting is I pick up this exchange. Cool. It says success. On to the next. So being attacked here. Okay, assessing. It looks like pretty much beginning of the game. I can have a check here on the king, but the queen is going to take that probably right away. So I don't think this is a checking puzzle. I don't think I'm going to get a checkmate here either. What's not being defended? These pieces are not being defended here. This rook, I don't think I can get at. Let's ignore that. Something's going to happen here with these 2. I'm not sure yet what it's going to be. I can see that this is close to a fork. If I could just push this guy up, then my opponent is going to lose one of these 2 pieces. That's a fork. That's a really popular. Oh, I see. No, but then he can move back there. He's not being defended. Okay. At first I was thinking if I bring my queen here to give a check, and they do something foolish like blocking with the knight, then I can move this guy up, being defended by the queen. But that doesn't work because as soon as my queen is here giving the check, this is a perfectly valid move and probably the best move, which blocks the check and attacks the queen. Sorry. blocks the check, and attacks my queen. And then I have to move the queen, and I don't have this opportunity, so that's why I'm guessing that's not the right move. The only thing I can think of now is a two-stepper, moving this guy up to block the attack on my rook, and then moving this one up to attempt to get the fork. I don't like it because it's a two-step move, but I'm really not seeing anything else. What else could I do? If I move this rook out of the way of danger, my bishop falls. I think that's why my rook is there to begin with. So I think my rook has to stay. And I have to block this attack. I can't just push up now because nothing is defending that pawn. I think the two-stepper is all I can think of. Let's see what happens. That's not the right answer. So, do we keep thinking? Come out with the check. Come out here with the check. Do they want this check? No. What do you want? Fork first? Oh, fork first. Oh, fork first, and now that bishop cannot come back on this check. Very clever. I like that, and he's not being defended either. Gonna have to do something about that. Wow, okay, super cool. Learned something new. So I was kind of like on the right track, but I didn't see that by giving up this pawn, now I can do that check and pick up. Cool, next one. Ooh, okay. Queens are off the board. Looks like maybe mid-game, even though the kings are starting to charge up towards the middle. So mid-game, transitioning to endgame. Okay, assessing. My black bishop is not being defended. Okay, can I get any checks? I only have light square bishop, which means my bishops, I can't do any checks with bishops on the dark square. The king is on a dark square. So my bishop is not in play right now. I can check here with the knight. I can check here with the knight. Here it gets taken quickly. Here it gets taken pretty quickly. I don't see any tricks. Okay, so maybe it's not the knight. This guy's being attacked. Maybe that's what I worry about first. So move. Where can I move this bishop? Again, it's a light square bishop. Almost everything that the opponent has is on dark squares. Well, everything of interest. So I should say these two look interesting. As soon as I move, I mean, I'm thinking about taking this knight. They'll take back. And then what? I don't know. Not being defended. Am I in danger? Anything else in danger here? I don't know. I don't know. This is not a good one. Check, check. All right, let's see what happens. Yeah, but then what? I can thrust this forward to attack the knight, but then they can take en passant. That's an actual rule. You can Google it. Oh, nice. I see. Okay, I didn't see it before. Now I see it. So right now, what I failed to identify is that right now I can fork these two rooks. I can come in, land here, and have one of these rooks. That plan is only thwarted because this knight is defending the square. But now that I'm attacked, I can take. This knight is no longer defending that square, and now I get a fork. And that is the puzzle. Okay, let's do one more. Okay, queens are on. Ooh, kings are running. Wow, okay. A lot going on. Immediate checks. Man, queen, look at this queen. Immediate checks. I could do a check here that on the surface that looks pretty foolish. No, I think that's going to be it. It looks foolish because, um, you know, I just lose a rook. So that looks pretty dumb. But I also look at my other pieces that are kind of pointing towards the king, which are almost all my pieces. Like, look at this guy. Okay, like, look at this guy pointing towards the king, pointing towards the king, towards the king, towards the king, towards the king. All these pieces pointing towards. So this might be. I think this is a checkmate puzzle. Everything's pointing towards the king. So I take. They take back. Then what becomes available that you can't see right now is that this rook has visibility to this square here, which my queen is coordinating on. So that's an immediate check. Nothing else is defending that square. No knight, there's no white knight. The white rook is not defending that square. So as soon as I do a check, that's actually checkmate. That's actually checkmate right on the spot because his pawn or her pawn is blocking this square. So the queen and the rook are going to dominate this column here, this file. They're going to dominate this G file, and the king has nowhere to go. So this is a checkmate puzzle. And the king cannot escape. Why? Oh, because if the king takes, then there's nothing. Oh, because the king would just take. Okay, so it's something else. All right, could it be? Maybe I take here? I mean, I have to give a check. Here. This is naughty. So the rook is blocking this off for the king. If I come down and check, he can't escape, but the queen is also looking there. So when I come down to check, there's only one option. It's not checkmate on the spot because this pawn has to take back. And when the pawn does take back, then back to my original plan, this rook is going to be coordinating with the queen to offer. So now the rooks both look down here as my queen comes in and gives a checkmate, and that's it. Okay, got it wrong at first, but then I got it the second time. Cool. Thanks a lot.